Strap yourself in,
because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go. And listening to Chris and Leicester LTIDtv on YouTube and your favourite podcasts.
And now, here's your host.
Right, Chris.
All right, Chunkies, how the devil are you? Welcome along to the show. It's the day after the night before. How are you feeling? What a game. And nobody can say to me that they didn't watch that game last night and thinking like, oh, I wish I was watching the men against Hungary. There's no way you can say that. That game had everything. Had it been the men, we'd have probably lost it, in fairness. But what a game. I mean, Spain, tough opposition, had the majority of the play, but just, well, the biggest stat of all, and you can quote stats all day, the biggest stat of all, of course, is England 2, Spain 1. Oh, I'm still high on excitement of winning. But welcome along. This is Leicester LTIDtv. If you are on YouTube or if you're not, get over to YouTube and please give us a subscribe. We are growing slowly, but we do appreciate every subscription. And if you haven't yet, please like the video. Smash the likes as you're watching it because it does help with the old YouTube algorithms, apparently. And if you are listening on catch up on any of your favorite podcast platforms, thank you so much for lending me your ears. This is Euros 22 match review, and this is brought to you in conjunction with www.3retro.com. That's the number 3retro.com, the one-stop shop online for all your England retro shirts. And not just England, they do UK clubs, they do continental clubs. Just go on and have a look. There's so many. Please show them your support because they do support us. And if I can find it, I will show you. This is who they are. Indeed, 3retro.com. They do say that the camera adds, so many pounds to you. Well, for that, you've got to get the camera to work. And this guy just couldn't get his camera to work a minute ago. So we're lucky to have him. How long we've got him for, I don't know. Ryan, you know him, he's a friend of the channel. Good afternoon, sir. How the devil are you?
Hello there. Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Like I say, thank you for having me on. And yeah, I hope you're well as well.
Good, indeed. And nice to be able to see you.
I know eventually, yeah, a bit of technical issue. You love a bit of technical issues, don't you, from time to time? But anyway, we're here.
We're here, and it always happens just as you're about to go live. Yeah. And I missed my opportunity there. I should have gone, it's nice to see you.
Nice.
Yes, there we go. That's all right. It might have worked had I done it at the time. But what a game yesterday. I mean, you were watching it. I was watching it. Spain surprised me, in fairness, because I haven't been overly impressed with them in sort of the 3 games that they had played. But they really, well, and I guess stating the obvious that they're our toughest opposition so far, but they really gave us a game, didn't they?
Yeah, they absolutely did. I think this game, though, yesterday had it all, didn't it? It had it just about everything that you could imagine in the game. But I think that, from Spain's perspective, yeah, they were good. But again, if you look at this, if you like your stats kind of thing, they ended up having 17 shots overall, and they only managed to get 4 on target. Now,
yeah,
you can see that's not very good, really, a conversion rate for them. But it was the biggest test of them all, and it proved to be so, didn't it? Obviously, I still think that obviously we didn't play to the level throughout the match that we could, but I think sometimes you're not going to win in style every time. Obviously, you have to dig in and show that grit and determination, which the ladies did, and get the job, and eventually be patient and obviously get the job done eventually and get the win. So that's what it's about sometimes, isn't it?
Definitely. And I think, in fairness to Spain, I mean, they are actually, like I say, one place higher above us. I think we're 8th FIFA ranking and they're 7th, so they're one place above us. So we're never going to have another 8-0 Norway in a competition at this stage, because the teams that have got through, whether they've got through like France or ourselves quite easily or just straight through, they're there because they deserve to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, definitely. You never see Scotland like that. When you get to the knockout stages, because them teams that have got through obviously have showed their kind of skill and strength throughout the competition. So yeah, they're there in the knockouts for a reason, basically. And yeah, that's really.
I mean, the first game. I mean, they were surprised by the Finnish getting a goal in the about the 30th second against them. I think that has caught them asleep. Obviously, they then went on to win 4-1. I wasn't impressed with them. Fully enough, I wasn't impressed with them against Germany, and they struggled against Denmark, only just scraping through that.
Yeah, but like you say, sometimes you've got to ride your luck along the way, and you've just got to keep, and that's what they did, and they kind of made things count, when they did. And like I said, the game against Denmark, by the way, I think that, Denmark kind of, allowed them to win that game in a sense, because obviously they did have chances, didn't they, Denmark, but they just couldn't fit, and obviously Spain obviously snapped. But yeah, Spain, it was a good test to come through though, from England's perspective, because it was the biggest test, and it was the biggest because obviously we've kind of had it not easy, but we've had it kind of so having this test stands in good stead for the semi-final now.
Yeah, definitely. And like you say, that was a tough stage. And I don't know whether, because I was looking at it, and I could be honest with you, of course, I always, say the thing that immediately proves me wrong. But I did say if Spain scored, we would struggle to maybe get back into it. Yeah. And it did for a while. But I think it was Spain, and I've got to give credit to them there. They were just relentless, weren't they? They were just like wave after wave at us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was kind of sensing, when Spain scored, I kind of feared the worst for us, really, to be honest with you. But yeah, they just kept coming and coming, and they really did pose that threat going forward like they always do. But the thing is with Spain, though, once they have the ball, it's very hard to get the ball off them. So when you do have the ball, you have to be really on it, on possession, and that's not always easy when you haven't had much of the football throughout the match as it is. You know what I mean? But yeah.
I mean, they had 58% possession, and like you said, 17 shots, but only got 4 on target. And even for England, I mean, we only had 10. We'll say only, but we had 10 shots on, but only 3 on target. It was one of those games, wasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, from our perspective, like I said earlier, I think we just couldn't really. We just couldn't really get going, could we? We didn't see really a great spot. You know what I mean? And we weren't making those runs that we usually make. Especially and if you looked at kind of the movement ahead, everyone was kind of static at points in the match as well. And I was thinking to myself, what's kind of what we've kind of seen previously? Why are we not kind of doing the same thing? Because it worked really well for us, but. Yeah, we still won.
Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, good afternoon to Jethy and also to Terence, who thinks Sweden are regrettably the winners for me. I have a feeling Sweden. I have been impressed with them. They've gone about their job, and they're doing a Germany for me. They're easing themselves into the competition, and they're slowly getting better with each game. And of course, they are number 2 in the world. And he said, as he said there, Leicester could do with England ladies defensive coaches. I think, not about the coaches, I think we could just do with the England ladies defensive players. But I'm going to start with the manager. She's won it once before, obviously, with the Dutch. There was never a look of panic on her face. And my God, she's not afraid to make the big decisions, isn't she? I mean, first place she took off, I think, were Mead and White. Ellen White, who, let's be honest with you, Ellen White, we know she's the female Harry Kane, isn't she? And Mead has just been scoring, got a hat trick, in the group games. And yet there she was after 58 minutes saying, no, those two are coming off. And I'm like, what? But my God, she made those decisions. And like I say, no look of panic on the bench at all.
No, absolutely not. And I must kind of point out that obviously there was a bit of apprehension, wasn't there, whether she'd be able to be on the touchline for the game, obviously with the COVID kind of things. But so that was a big plus for us before the match. Her herself, I think she's experienced. She knows what she's. She'll never. She's just a cool, calm, composed, kind of face, and you can sense that. And I think
she just needs a waistcoat, though, doesn't she? But that's another story, another show. But yeah, I'm totally impressed with her. She's come out, and I know Gareth Southgate's a bit Marmite at the moment. You love him, but he never comes out and builds England up. So this is with this squad we're going to win it. He's very much taking it one step at a time. Doesn't build up expectations, and she's very similar to this because I'm looking at this side that beat the Netherlands that she managed to the competition 5 years ago, beat them. It was at 5-1 in a friendly before this started, and. I was thinking, this is it. It's going to come home and the women are going to do it where the men can't. But she's kept calm. And I haven't got her on the chart, but for me, I think she's just a 10 all the way. Yeah,
she definitely is. And like you said about the subs, bold choices to make them subs in them moments. And she backed herself, though. She backed herself to, believe it was the right way. And you've got to trust someone like that because she just kind of proved, in the big moments where you have to make big decisions, that kind of proves why she is such a quality coach, top quality coach. She's fantastic. She really is.
Yeah. And she's just showing her now on the screen. I mean, we probably would be having a different conversation if she made those substitutions and then we'd gone on and lost. But that's football, isn't it? That's football,
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, sorry, I was just kind of thinking, Spain did really well to nullify Mead's threat, though, didn't they? The way they were, she couldn't really get into the game. She was very isolated on that wing. Like I said, they kept doubling up on her, and she just couldn't. She couldn't really do much. She swapped wings at one point as well, didn't she? And she just couldn't seem to get in the game. So that substitution, maybe I was a bit surprised still, but I still was kind of thinking, I get it a bit. With Ellen White, I think that even though she looked like she was tiring a bit, I think that you've got to keep her on the pitch because she always seems to be in the right place at the right time. When you're a striker, you've got that instinct like she does. But again, I'm not going to question that because it turned out to be the right. So
no, exactly. But no, it's true though. How many times have we sat there and watched the men, and not just under Southgate, under any England manager, or even sort of our players? And I can remember Graham Taylor taking off Lineker, against Sweden in a qualifier for some Euros, and putting on Alan Smith, and you're like, why are you doing that? Because Lineker could always get you a goal, and it didn't work out for him, and of course he got lambasted. But also, it's like, how often have we looked? Oh, Kane's not in it. Kane, but nobody dare take Kane off, sort of thing, But no, it's good. It was good to see. And a word in fairness, Terry said it. Terry, give me teeth in. Terry said it here. I was impressed with the way the referee clamped down on the Spanish girl mouthing it from the bench. Yes.
Yeah, very, very well said there. Because, like I said, I think that we did very well to stay calm in that moment, by the way, because they were trying to wind us up a bit. You could tell, and like I said, from the bench as well, they were causing a bit of trouble on the bench. And even in the game, there was very much the kind of that constantly whinging at the referee, kind of trying to react, trying to make the younger players react, and they just didn't. So full credit to the ladies for that.
Yeah, no, and totally. And I mean, the refereeing, I think, as a general, has been very, very good. VAR hasn't been, well, in fairness, it's worked, and they've got most of the decisions right. But yeah, it's lovely to see. And they say, apart from that occasion, I think that's the first time I've seen anybody really have a go at the referee.
But, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So,
she didn't look happy at all. But there we go. We don't care. She's Spanish. They lost. They're out. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
But, right. Let's have a look and go through, because there's. I mean, some of the players that came on towards the end were obviously just players, to waste a bit of time, and no disrespect to them. But before we do that, and it's very remiss of me, and I do apologise, I have put your link in the description below so people can find your channel. You're a new channel just starting out, so let's give him some support, guys. But where can people find you, Ryan?
Yeah, so you can find me on my YouTube channel, Huddersfield Town Fan TV. Plenty of content, to check out and catch up with. Like I say, we are on the road to 100 subscribers, and I'm actually at 87 the last time I checked. So we are getting there slowly but surely.
That's what I mean. You've also got to remember, it's off season, and the Euros are on, so it's the worst time to try and build. But it's coming along. But and you don't just do Huddersfield, do you?
No, I don't just do Huddersfield. Like I say, once the season gets underway, I do end up doing some Premier League prediction shows and things like that. And but yeah, quite a bit of it is Huddersfield Town, admittedly, because obviously that's team spot. But yeah, I just love talking football. Like I say, I've got some vlogs on there that I'm doing. Obviously, going to the Women's Euros, a few of the Women's Euros. Obviously,
yeah, you've been to a few, haven't you? Are you going to any of the quarters at all?
Well, I was thinking about going to tomorrow night. I've forgotten who was playing tomorrow night, but
tomorrow it's Sweden, Belgium.
Yes, I was thinking about going to that one, but I don't know. Probably I won't do it, to be honest with you. I'm not sure.
No. Well, get over there, guys, and if you didn't get it a chance to make a note of it, it is in the description below on the YouTube channel where you can find Ryan. So hopefully this is going to work, and I've got them all in alphabetical order simply because it's the only way I can remember them, in fairness. And I've got into the women's game very much. This is sort of my first real probably steps in watching, as I think it is for a lot of people, and it slowly sort of dragged me in, and and I've not gone in kicking and screaming, but I am still sort of developing my knowledge. But we're going to start with Bright, who's a defender. What do you think of her game? Yeah,
I think that what Bright will always do for you is really make the kind of backline organised, and She did what she had to do in the moment, so she may have but I think that she had a very, very good game in all fairness. She didn't really put a foot wrong for me. I think that she looked very, very solid as always.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like her, and I do like that partnership with Williamson. So I think that them two together complement each other very nicely, actually.
Yeah. In fact, let's face it, the whole back four, apart from the goal, they didn't really do much wrong, did they?
No, they didn't. No.
On the scores, I've not gone below a 5. A, because you can only have so many rows on this, but B, I don't think anybody's going to get below a 5 anyway, so it just made it easy to look at. So with Bright, how much are we going to give her out of 10?
I'd probably give her a 9, mate. I really do.
Right.
She did do very well, but like I said, obviously the goal conceded. She's part of that. So I have to give her a 9 for that.
Yeah. Just say Terence here said last night proved the absolute need for a top class bench who can give different options if required. Yeah, I mean that was like it, but it also needed somebody like the manager to make those decisions. One of the two that I actually named, I knew going into this tournament, Lucy Bronze, playing as a right back. I don't know whether that's a good sign or a bad sign for her, bless her, that maybe she's been around a while. But again, we use the wings so well, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And I'm into my heat maps, by the way, and I saw a heat map on Lucy Bronze actually. and the amount of ground that she covered up and down that wing and back, very, very impressive, very fit athlete. So, I like Lucy. I think she's great, and brilliant inspiration to many.
But again, what would we give her, another 9 or?
Yeah, I think you have to do, don't you? Because I think, I mean, I think the way Spain got into the box though was down the wings, but there was targeting obviously Daly's side, because Daly did look a bit vulnerable at times, admittedly, which we'll probably get into in a moment. But yeah, I think that they was trying to target that side. But yeah, Bronze did a very good job, and then she was involved in a lot of our attacks as well. So yeah, has to be nice.
Yeah. And like you say, you can be overcritical sometimes. I know I definitely can. And, you could say, like, a lot of the time down that sort of, near side right wing for Spain, right wing for us, we were sometimes a bit lacking. But again, you've got to give some credit to Spain in pulling our defenders across. We start with the defenders, because all the defenders seem to be starting with the early letters. But Daly, she was on the other side of the pitch to Bronze. Now, she was taken off after 82 minutes, but again, I can't really complain about her.
But I kind of disagree, though, to be honest with you, because I feel like she was struggling a lot of the match, in my opinion. I think the amount of time that she got beat as well on that wing of hers, I think she was struggling, and you could see as well towards kind of when she did get taken off, you could see she was struggling kind of physically as well, obviously fitness wise. So I have to go lower for her, unfortunately, because I just think that she I'm not saying she played absolutely so bad, but I just think she did look very like she was struggling for me. So for me, maybe this is harsh, but I have to go what I think. I probably have to give her a 7 in this instance.
Right, no, that is fine. This is what I've got you on for. Then nobody can shout at me. But no, I can say you've seen these players, some of it live as well, so you have that bit of extra knowledge. So the goalkeeper, Earps.
I mean.
Okay, she was beaten. And you could argue that she didn't have much to do, but was she impressive for you, or did what she had to?
Yeah, well, like I say, she did what she had to, and if you remember, she made a really good save, by the way. Obviously that mistimed cross from the Spanish right wing, I think it was, and she actually, she kept us in the game. It was when we were 1-0 down. Obviously, it could have been 2 then, but great save. She's reliable when she's called upon. She's always there, and. For that reason, I do like her. I think that she possesses all the qualities you need in a goalkeeper as well, and she's growing and growing. So, very solid performance, and I have to go for this rating for an 8. I have to go for an 8 for her.
An 8, yeah. There we go. Greenwood, who came on just before we scored the goal. So again, what did you think of her?
I mean, obviously she did come on kind of late, and like I said, I like Greenwood. I think she comes in and she'll do a job for you, but I can't really remember much what she actually did, if I'm honest. So
she got a yellow card. She managed to do that, which it's quite difficult in these games, isn't it, to get cards? But you always, in fairness, I think we always know when you look at the players that are coming on, anything from 75 minutes onwards, they're never going to get a particularly high score because they can't, basically they've not got that long on the pitch. But she came on just obviously for the goals just at the right time. But where would you put Greenwood?
I'd probably because she came on late and she didn't really get much involved, by the way. And I can't really remember seeing her much on the ball. I have to go over 6, unfortunately, for that. I think she did okay, but she didn't really do much.
No. Like I say, never apologise. This is why
I just feel very, very, to me, I don't want to sound harsh because I think what these ladies have done so far have been amazing. But I have to be honest with the ratings for sure. But
yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the stats from last night, and she only played 38 minutes. no goals, no assists, no shots, and no chances created, and passes were 45%. So I think you've probably nailed it there, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Right. So Hemp, midfielder. She played really well. It was a really a kind of delaying substitution, I guess, really, when you're looking at 116 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, like I say, Hemp, great player. She's shown what she can do in this tournament in glimpses. Not all the time, but yeah, I do like her. I think she's fantastic, really. And yeah, I think she was creating, she was trying to get on the ball and do things, but yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one, this race, naturally.
She had 3 shots, none of which, well, in fairness, one of which was on target, I think. She created a chance. I mean, looking at that, like I say, so, for me, probably a solid 7. I don't know about yourself.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, put her in at 7. Yeah, can't argue with that.
I'm not wishing to jump in on you.
No.
And then we've got Kelly, who came on in the 58th minute.
Yeah, again, I think that Kelly, we're only really seeing from the bench, obviously Serena likes that, but I think that Kelly does fairly well when she comes on, and she does work hard and does do a good job for you. But I think again, kind of coming on a bit later in the match, I do remember getting a few deliveries in, but I think for me, I think it is always difficult when you're coming on and trying to make it. Like I say, she didn't do that much either.
Yeah.
Said that a lot actually, but I think she always looks dangerous when she's on the ball, Kelly. But and she always tries. But I think I'd probably put her at a 6 personally.
At a 6. Okay. There we go for Chloe. And then after Chloe, we have that's just Kelly we've just done, isn't it? So we're then looking at Hemp. Again, didn't well.
We've already done Hemp.
Oh, sorry, we've just done Hemp. Sorry, I didn't tick her
Kirby.
off. Sorry, Kelly next. Sorry.
No, we've done Kelly. It's Kirby next, isn't it?
Hemp and Kelly. Oh God.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm still drunk. Kirby.
Kirby. Yeah.
Midfield dynamo. But did she impress you last night?
No, I think she was one of those that really struggled last night, in my opinion. I think she just couldn't get into the game. She was substituted as well, wasn't she?
Yes.
And I think she really struggled. So for that reason, I have to give her this rating, and I have to go with what I think. So I have to go with a 5. I do. I just don't think she really impacted much at all. She couldn't get in the game. Yeah.
Right. Sorry. What did you give her there? Sorry.
5. I have to go with 5 because she didn't impact really at all. Really.
I mean, it's all about opinions, football, and we nobody's right, nobody's wrong. And I did get you on to give you opinions here, so that's good. So that's Kirby. Now, a player that has up until last night has impressed me, but I think the Spaniards were ready for her. And as we said earlier, maybe sort of didn't let her get into the game, and that's Beth Mead.
Yeah, like I said earlier, they did the research, and like I said, they doubled up on it every time. Obviously we tried to switch it up a bit with obviously the opposite flank, put her on the opposite flank. But yeah, she was another one really that was a bit disappointing in my opinion. I think that she couldn't get into the game, and she didn't really do much at all. Well, she didn't really do anything at all in my view. So again, for that reason, I have to go with this rating because I know she set a standard in this tournament, and when she dips below, you've got to be honest with yourself. And to be fair, no, the Spanish defenders did a job on her, and fair enough. So I'm not going to take that away from them either. But for me, I have to go with 5 for Beth Mead.
5, wow. Yeah, and I mean, I'm looking at her stats here. I mean, she played 58 minutes. No goals, no assists, no shots, and she's going to be disappointed with that, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. You can kind of tell that she sets the standard very, very high, and when she can't get to that level, or she's unable to get to that level, I think she'll be very frustrated about obviously her individual performance. Obviously, collectively, she's very, very happy we won. But I agree with it, with everything that's in there.
Yes. Right, let's just have a look at a few comments here. Terry, I think I didn't see the Leicester Hall one at all, but I saw the highlights. It looked okay. I think this was definitely the better match, without a doubt. Ravi, good afternoon, sir. How are you? Big up the crew. Millie Bright is quality defender. Certainly is. And he also says, Georgina Stanley is so underrated. She goes in hard. She's so good. Yeah, I mean, I say we're not being harsh with some of these, but we're in a way they've almost made it hard to judge them because they've been so good.
Yeah, exactly. They've set the bar very, very high. They set the bar very, very high. Sorry, and that's the problem, isn't it? When they get back.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is. It is indeed. Now, Nikita Parish. I mean, she played 3 minutes. And I think she just came on to sort of not make the numbers up. That sounds like I'm being very derogatory to her, but I'm not. But you've got to look at 2-1. She was brought on to play the game out, wasn't she? Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, when you get a couple of minutes on the pitch, you can't. I don't think you can really give a rating on her really, because obviously she didn't play enough for me to be able to judge her. You know what I mean? So. You could put her in 5, I suppose.
I think, she'd have to go. Yeah, I mean, I would put her in 5. I mean, God bless her. She was only on 3 minutes and she committed 2 fouls. In the fact that she was breaking the game up for the opposition, she did what was required.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Now this. I mean, she must have been disappointed with not getting on from the start But how do you drop somebody like Ellen White? I mean, Russo, she's 23. Her time will come. I'm sure, we're going to look at her. She's Man United women. She came on and she actually played 62 minutes because with the obviously extra half hour. 1 assist, 1 shot. I mean, how, like I say, she would have been disappointed in not starting, but overall, what a tournament, and she did all right last night.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Russo is one of those players that has made appearances from the bench, but what she has done when she's come on is really, really played very well, in my opinion. I've really enjoyed watching her when she's been on the field. And like I say, if it wasn't for Ellen White, she would be starting, obviously, but you can't drop someone like Ellen White. It's a shame they can't play together, actually, but obviously that doesn't allow us to do that, because I think that Russo would really enjoy playing with Ellen White, if I'm honest with you. Last night.
But then you're talking about we need a coach that's going to change their mind on their formation and what have you, and we see at club level, it doesn't always happen, does it?
No, absolutely. If the formation doesn't fit and you can't do that, then it's one of those things. You just have to kind of play the way we are and obviously select people we are. So last night's performance, like I said, great. Obviously, assist for the goal. She always seems to make a contribution, when she comes on and she causes a nuisance, in that at the front, trying to score, trying to cause problems to the opposition, really. She always tries to make things happen. I probably rate her a considerable. Now, do I go? I don't really, because obviously she didn't start. I mean, it's hard to get in the game. I would probably say she's a 7, me personally.
You have a 7? No, like I say, don't. This is your opinion, and this is what I wanted. So again, Scott, I think we've got to say 5 for coming on in the last 2 minutes, and again, not being awful. She was only, she came on for 4 minutes, and basically, according to this, she had 4 touches in those 4 minutes. And again, that's not her fault. We know why we see it every week, don't we? In our league games, they come on basically to the manager puts them on just to try and wind the clock down and disrupt the opposition. So
Yeah.
for me, I'd probably say again put it in the 5. I would think. Would you? Just for
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
just for coming on. Helen's in. Good afternoon, Helen. How are you? I'm well. Ryan's well. Well, I say I'm speaking for him now. I presume you're well, Ryan.
Yeah, I am. I'm absolutely buzzing still from last night, of course. And yeah, I'm well. Yeah, I'm happy.
Right. Ryan's well. He's fine. He sat there with a broken leg, and I'm saying, yeah, he's fine, whatever. But right. So that was Scott. So we're down to the last 5 now. What? I don't know whether we can go high enough for this lady or not. Let's just find her. Georgia Stanley plays abroad, plays for Bayern Munich, 23 years old, played for the whole match. One of the few that played for the whole match. Only had 2 shots, but one of those was very, very important. What can you say about her? I mean, on the system I'm looking at here, they're giving the man of the match, and just for the goal, you've probably got to say so. I mean, she admitted herself that normally she probably would have passed that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Georgia is one of those, is a real talent and very underrated. She's a very, very good footballer, like I say. And I think that obviously, the goal as well was outstanding. To have that bravery and confidence to go for that, from that distance as well. She well and truly backs herself to find the net from there.
I mean, if that was a Marcus Rashford or a Jamie Vardy or Ronaldo, we'd be singing from the trees for weeks, wouldn't we? But I just think to do that and have the confidence to do that. To me, this is the difference between England, France, and probably a lot of the other teams. Del Boy's popped in. Good evening, Del. What's the crack? How the devil are you, sir? Hang on, let me get the swear jar out. Del's in. Good. I hope you're well over there in Ireland, Del. I forgot what I was saying now. Yes, that she. So many times I've seen players in this tournament shoot from that sort of distance, and it's either been a daisy cutter that has gone along the ground and not got past the defender, or it's ended up in the space station. And France, and for me England, you wouldn't have got that from a lot of the teams. And I think she quite rightly got man of the match, player of the match.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't argue with that, really. Like I said, obviously scoring the winner as well. The one thing that impresses me most with her is, though, she always is looking to drive forward. She's always wanting to get on the ball and make stuff happen. She takes responsibility. She's a real leader on that pitch at times, I feel, as well. And I think, she's been fantastic in this tournament, and I've just loved seeing her play. In all honesty, and like I said, that goal last night, wow, wow.
Yes, it was. I could watch it just for the rest of the night. I mean, I'd go as far as a 10. I don't know about yourself.
Yeah, I think that if we're talking about a man of the match performance here, I think that we have to give it her, because I think that like I say, she managed to still make an impact even though it was a more difficult opposition to face. So she showed her qualities, and she showed. Yeah, that goal, like I say, alone is worth. So we have to go with 10. Yeah, for me. Yeah.
And I mean, she had 40 passes in the game, of which 34% were accurate. Now, and that's 85. Sorry, 34 were accurate. Sorry, which is 85%. That's not a bad return, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just incredible, isn't it? And like I say, the touches that she had in the match as well. I saw some stats on this as well, and obviously. 62 touches. She's always looking to get on that ball. Like I said, I just love to see her play. Really, outstanding.
Just to say to Helen, good luck tonight. Apparently, Liverpool are playing Leipzig, so good luck with that. If you're going to say that about about Stanley, what we're going to say about Ella Toon. You know, Manchester United women. I know Del Boy's probably come in because it's the only time he'll ever see us praise any Arsenal players. Sorry, Del Boy. Sorry, you knew you were going to get it. Ella Toon substituted or came on the 64th minute, and 20 minutes later got us back in the game.
Yeah, you know, again, another player that I've loved watching in this tournament. She really is a talent. She really, like I said, when she's come on, she's made that contribution. She's really made an impact when she's come on, and that's what you want from a substitute, obviously. But yeah, I really like her, and I think that, you know, she played absolutely fantastic last night. Like I say, getting that goal as well, coming off the bench to get that goal, well taken goal, admittedly, from that distance. You know, she should have scored really from that distance. You know, if honest, but yes, she has to take it, and she did, and she was in the right place at the right time. But yeah, overall, I think that she made a big contribution, and yeah, she was outstanding. For me, she was outstanding yet again.
Yeah, I mean, she had she was on the pitch 56 minutes, had 2 shots. Like you say, she shouldn't really miss that one, should she? But then, hey, we've seen it. I was watching one, and you know, if it came to penalties, let's not remind Chelsea about penalty takers after last night. You know, whoops, what went wrong there? But yes, I mean, you know, 22 touches. I mean, she was good. What do you giving?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. When she came on, her level was very good. I think that I can't go higher than this because obviously she did come on late, and even though she made a big contribution and got us back in the game, I just think like she has to, you know, it's very hard, like you said, to make an impact fully, you know. But she did very, very well. I have to go with a. Oh, can we go point? I don't know if I should go 0.5s or whatever. But
I haven't got a 0.5 column there, so don't you dare.
Sorry.
I mean, for me, I'm looking at a 7 or 8, just simply because, you know, of the goal, basically. But
I have to go. Yeah, I was thinking more of an 8, and I was going 8.5 actually, but 8 then.
Yeah. There's always one awkward one, isn't there? There's always one awkward one.
Yeah.
Now, Ella Toon will give her an 8 there, so well done for that. Again, another one that came on here with sort of minutes left, and that was Walsh. Oh, sorry, came off. Sorry, she came off.
She came off.
Came off, man. I'm looking at my arrows I've got on my card here. I'm looking at the wrong way. Yeah, I mean, again, a Man City women player, 24 years old, 56 passes in the game, 48% of which were accurate. You know, it's 86%. You can't ask for more than that. So, I mean, let's not forget, the women have been here before, but never in their own backyard. And that makes a huge difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I've always said, you know, being host, it really does make a massive difference, especially, you know, you saw at the start of the game, and obviously there was a bit of tension when Spain scored, and obviously, but then when we got back in it, then that's when the crowd helped, the ladies even more again. So it is a big advantage, and we've got to make that count. But with that advantage, and with that host nation tag on your back, if you could say so, there is that little bit of pressure as well. But they've dealt with it very well, actually, to be honest with you.
Yes,
so yeah.
They have. So she didn't sort of win any defensive tackles at all, but she did get some interceptions and clearances in. So what are we giving to? To Kira Walsh?
I think you have to put her in as a solid performance here, and I think I have to go with 7 personally. I do.
7, yep. Let's put her into 7 there for the central midfielder. What can we say? Ellen White, the Harry Kane of the women's football world, really, isn't she? You know, she was only on for 58 minutes. It wasn't, in fairness, her best game. Like we said at the start, you know, as much as they marked Beth Mead out, they also marked Ellen White out the game, really, didn't they?
They did, yeah. But usually White keeps making them runs though, so you know, and still backs off. But I didn't really see much of that in the game, really, for me. And like I said, she did have that chance, obviously, with that free kick that was delivered in, and she mistimed it, and that kind of, you don't see that often, and you kind of think to yourself, maybe she's just having one of those games. She's human after all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she didn't. She couldn't really get into the game. Let's be honest with you. She didn't play the best, and she wasn't really involved. She couldn't get involved.
But she was still taking defenders away, wasn't she? Because if she'd run one way, she would take some defenders away with her.
Yeah.
Obviously, you wanted to score as well. Obviously, if you can, but
it just felt like we could. When you know a player can reach a level, you kind of expect them to be superhuman and do it every single game, and that's not going to happen, is it? But
yes,
she was good, but not really much to say really about her. She was just kind of, trying her best, but she couldn't get into it. So for me, I can't go higher than this rating, unfortunately. And I'm sorry, Ellen, but I have to go with this. I have to go with a 6. I can't go higher.
That was my thought. I'm going to be totally honest with you, mate. I agree with you. That was my thought. And like you say, that it's not always the player's fault. If the player has a bad game, it's either because A, they're rubbish, or B, that the opposition was just too good for them on the day. And I think, or like I say, had marked them out, and they were, did that well last night. Leah Williamson, centre back, another one of the Arsenal women in the team. They've got in fairness to Arsenal, they've got a fair few players in the England team. You immediately know when you say that you're talking about the women, not the men. 25. She was on the pitch for the whole game. One of the others that wasn't substituted. As a centre back, she made 82 passes, of which 67 were accurate, which is 82% as it happened. Let's have a look at some other figures. She won 1 tackle, 2 blocks, 7 clearances, 6 headed clearances, and 3 interceptions, 10 recoveries. I mean, you couldn't have a lot more of her, really, could you?
No, absolutely not. But I think that, obviously for the goal as well, I think it did come down the side of what she, obviously she plays in the left side of the centre back role. It did come back down her. I mean, obviously it's not her full responsibility, but at times she did look a bit, vulnerable maybe. But maybe I'm being harsh here. But again, a solid performance. You can't complain. I do like her. I think she's a real leader on the pitch as well, and she's got real quality for sure. Mate, it's difficult to kind of rate this one down because she did well, but she didn't, maybe get to the level she'd like. But oh God.
She didn't impress you, did that's what we can say.
I wouldn't say she did, though, Chris. No, I wouldn't say she did.
No, and that is fine. You think, what you're thinking, sort of a 7 or?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you're looking at the players. I can't go higher than the likes of 2 for me. I have to go with a 7. Yeah.
Well, that's fine. Let's stick her there in 7. Like I say, it is hard to be critical when it's on a game like that, but this is what we do on these shows, isn't it? It is there, and I'm just glad you made those decisions and not me. Anybody wants to complain about the decisions made? Yeah, Ryan's Twitter's there. Just get a message up to him. Sorry, just hanging you out to dry there, Ryan. Brilliant. Germany tonight. They are taking on Austria. So, like I said the other night, it's like watching Australia's neighbours, isn't it? But how do you see? I mean, to me, it's only going to be one result for that one, which is Germany.
Yeah, I mean that's the sense I'm getting as well. But again, you just never ever know. You just can't take anything for granted. Like I say, Austria, they've got to the knockout stages. They're not going to be pushovers. It's going to be a test. Nope. It's going to be the biggest test for Germany, in my opinion. I think that they've had. And got to
the semis in the last tournament.
Yeah. So you can't take anyone for granted, and I think that it'll be a very close. I think it'll be a close game tonight. I think there'll be 1 goal in it. I do think it will be that close. But I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But it's all set up for a fantastic contest.
Yeah. And then, of course, the big one, which is on Friday, Sweden versus, who are they playing? Sweden, Belgium. And I say a big one, probably the bigger one is on Saturday, but the big one in the fact that whoever comes through that one faces England. And that is going to be, again, Belgium disappointed me in the last game. I think they played Portugal, didn't they, in the last game? And Portugal were all over them, but they did, they came out second half, scored almost straight away, caught them cold. And it's not about the amount of possession you have, but can you see them getting past Sweden, number 2 in the world?
It's going to be a big ask, isn't it? I think. Let's be honest.
Yes.
But I just can't see it happening, unfortunately, for them. I think that, like I said, to be honest with you, I haven't really seen much of Belgium in this tournament. I seem to kind of avoided the matches that they played. So I don't know why. Nothing against Belgium, but I kind of think that obviously I've seen more of obviously Sweden. And Sweden, like I said, number 2 in the world, a very, very good side.
Yes.
And I have to go. I think Sweden will do it, and obviously, to be honest though, we would prefer to play Belgium in the semis for me.
Yes, yeah.
But,
Sweden. Yes, they did put 5 past Portugal, like we say, in that last game, but it was very much. I think it was like most of the goals came very late on in that game, and Portugal. Oh no, they didn't. So I'm getting my games mixed up. They came from defensive errors that I wouldn't expect England to make. Portugal, I thought there was Switzerland, they had that many holes in the defence. Cheese joke there, yeah. Moving on very quickly. Leicester played zonal marking last season, but at least we looked like we were actually looking where the players were. If they were playing zonal, but nobody was picking any of the Swedish attackers up. And it was like corner, goal, free kick, goal, corner, goal. And it's like, yeah, all right, you're playing zonal, but look who's around you. So they won 5-0. But to be totally honest with you, I think, if there was Granny's United playing, they'd have scored against Portugal that night. And apart from that, they couldn't beat the Netherlands. They drew with the Netherlands and only just got past Switzerland, in fairness, after going behind. So
yeah, point. Yeah, good point.
They're second, like you say, in the world ranking for a reason,
Yeah, so, but it's not going to be easy for them. It will still, again, we talked about it earlier. No teams are pushed over when you get to a knockout stage match. So yeah, it's going to be a step up for them. Like I say, sometimes they haven't been very good, but they've got the job done and they've showed the quality shone through, hasn't it, in the end? So
Totally, yeah. Ryan, I know you've got to go off to your football. So you're not playing tonight, are you, by any chance? You're not a ringer for Austria.
Might be secretly. I might be. You never know, Chris. You never know. You might see.
And coming on the substitute, yeah. That substitute hasn't shaved her legs, actually. No, have a good game. Don't break anything. Thank you very, very much, mate, for doing that. I agree with you. I think you've got them spot on there. But at the end of the day, like you say, I think for the overall performance, and I think it was great the fact that we came from behind as well. That was the difference,
Absolutely.
It was brilliant. I think I was watching you on the thing when the goal went in because I've got it on the screen, and I'm like, yes, and I was exactly the same,
Yeah. Oh, it was,
there we go.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. But yeah, thanks for having me on, Chris.
Once again, like I say, your Twitter's there on your screen. Your details are in YouTube, but just give them a shout out again because it's a new channel, guys. Make sure you get over and give Ryan a sub. Where can they find you, Ryan?
Yeah, so you can find me on my YouTube channel, obviously, Huddersfield Town Fan TV. Like I said, I do loads of different things, really. Vlogs, preview review shows. Obviously I've covered a lot of the women's games as well at times. And done things like that. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Like I say, on the road to 100. And it's actually been 2 months since I started, so that's flown by so quickly. But yeah, it's been great, amazing journey so far. So yeah, but yeah, you can also obviously find me on my social media, Twitter and Instagram, HTFTV8. So yeah, please go and give me a follow on that and keep up to date with everything that I post. But yeah, plenty more to come from me in the next few days, including another vlog. So yeah, please come and subscribe. Thank you for having me.
No, well, great friend of the channel. Thank you very much for coming on, Ryan. Enjoy your football match tonight, and we'll speak soon, no doubt.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Take care.
Thanks a lot. Take care, bud. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thanks to Ryan for coming on. Make sure you do get over. If you missed his channel, it is in the description below. There is a link to it. Get over there. He's not, as I say, he's a big Huddersfield Town fan. I suppose somebody has to be. I can say that because he's gone. I can't see him. Oh, yes, he heard that. I can see him in the green room. He heard that. Well, like I say, I don't know whether we should call them Huddersfield or Nottingham Forest B, to be honest with you. So, he's never gonna come on this channel again. But get over there, great guy, give him some support. Like I say, it's a new channel just setting up, and it's very, very difficult when you start out. Don't I know it? But yeah, thank you for we would be Helen. You're quite true, but then sometimes you draw. Be careful what you wish for. You draw the lesser teams, and you have a bad night and you get knocked out, and it's embarrassing. But hey, we can but do our best. We can but do our best. Look, thanks to Ryan for coming in. I really do appreciate that and spending the time and giving those rankings out. And thank you to everybody that was watching and listening. If you've been on the podcast listening to it as well, please, whatever you do, subscribe to the channel. And if you have subscribed, well, if you haven't, please do on YouTube, Leicester Till I Die TV. And if you haven't yet subscribed, do it. And also, if you have subscribed, smash the likes button, because it does help, like I say, our algorithms with YouTube. Whatever that means. Remember, don't forget to support the company that supports backing the whole of our coverage for the women's 2020 Euros, and that is this company. Yeah, 3retro.com. That's the number 3retro.com for all your international shirts like this, your team shirts, even if you're Barcelona, Madrid fans, all the retro, such a big choice of retro and sportswear. It is untrue. And there's a lot of the Admiral stuff, and I just love the Admiral shirts. They're so out there. I really do love them. I will be back. I could have done that a bit better, couldn't I? Oh, that's more like Sarah Connor than the Terminator. Do you think we should try that again?
I'll be back.
Did that work? I don't think it did it? We'll be back tonight. We will be covering Germany versus Austria. I will be joined by Maisie from Devils United TV, a lovely lady. You'll recognise her from her laugh. But we will be back tonight at 7:45 for the second of the semi-finals. As you see there, Germany, who are taking on Austria. And that's tonight at 7:45. So we will hopefully see you then. Whatever you do, stay safe, take care, and remember, whatever you do, don't do anything I wouldn't enjoy. I'll see you then. Take care. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye, and see you next time.
for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
Cool. I'm out of here. Ooh, that's a wrap.